to test it fully functional on a different outlet.
Sure.
All right, and Vanessa Sasser signed our paperwork on this. Can I get the IP address and page count from Vanessa?
Yes, the IP address is 172.16.12.133.
All right, and page count?
10,660. 10,660.
Perfect. Is there a set maintenance life or maintenance interval?
I can find that in the
All right, no. All right, we'll go ahead and get this one closed out, Charles.
all right.
Did you have anything else for me for today? Anything for Xerox?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and let you go. You have a good one, okay? Enjoy your weekend.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
I love this call by Shannon Hoffner.
I
I love
love
this call.
scoreboard.
The reason that I like this call, this is my favorite call of the morning, of all the recordings, this is my favorite one, and the reason is Shannon did cut him off and interrupt him talking, but she was taking control of the conversation because he started to ramble and blah, 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 blah. But since she was so friendly with him throughout the entire conversation, she never came off rude, ever. So you can interrupt people,
Politely.
like, you can be respectfully demanding. And so since she was friendly throughout the entire phone call, whenever she's like, I got a job to do, I gotta get my information, he starts rambling on, she's like, but did you test it on another power supply? Or another outlet, or whatever the question was. This is my favorite call.
And she asked him if he needed anything else from
Yes,
us.
there's multiple good points on this phone call. There's tons of good points about this phone call, but that's something that I really loved, was that she took control of the conversation, and although she interrupted him, it was never rude. So,
I think me cutting him off was kind of rude.
no,
But
you were
Charles
friendly the
hates
whole-
rambles,
That's-
and you
and you
have
could
to.
tell. But you were never rude.
There are some technicians that ramble. And Lara, to go back to you, there are some technicians that I'll have to watch that, like Brian Craig. I talk to him 3 or 4 times a day because
Well, yeah,
somebody's cup just fell.
it's fine, it's empty.
Okay.
But,
So I talk to him 3 or 4 times a day, and so it probably shouldn't be, but our conversation is much more casual. It's like, hey Brian, what's up?
Because I'm
That's
gonna
what
sit
we
right
do.
I
don't wanna step on you.
That call was like the 5th time I had come back from cold, and I was like, hey, there,
Yeah.
that's why I was very
Well, and
nonchalant.
I think we probably all do it. I just,
Yeah.
want to. It's not like you're the only one who's ever done it, but it is obviously something we can all improve on.
Yeah, it was definitely, and a lot of it is just like, I'm from Chalmette, like, I guess, we don't realize, we don't have as much etiquette here that we should, I guess.
Everybody's just supposed to be ready for them.
Right.
I'm very, yeah, and like, I was raised that if you act,
I was in. Like,
oh, thank you for holding, that's rude. Does that make sense? Because you're treating them like they're some kind of stranger that you don't want to get to know, like, so I was taught, I know it's not professional or whatever, so I'm trying to undo that, but I was taught like to be I was a diner waitress, so I have a,
Well, like she said, everybody's your mama's sister's friend.
exactly, everybody's supposed to be like,
Right.
It's a
But
southern thing.
It is. It is.
and
I realize
if you
how
treat
bad my
someone like
accent is.
very politely, it's almost rude.
Oh, mine's horrible.
I sound nasally on the phone.
So you sound like, I guess we're into it. So you sound nasally.
I had a technician tell me, "Oh no, you can't tell where you're from at all." I was like, "Thank you."
Nobody can ever tell where I'm from.
I get that.
No, he was being sarcastic
See,
because he
and I
can
get-
definitely tell that I'm like,
I get the opposite because everyone's like, where are you from? Like, I get Midwest
"You
for
did."
Yeah.
some reason.
You
Like,
sound it.
they think Wisconsin, and they
Oh,
don't,
for sure.
I don't know if it's the combination of the New York and Southern together making it sound like that. But they're like, you're not from here.
I've had so many people tell me, "You must be from the Hammond location."
Yes, how can you tell?
People always ask me where I'm from. Like, you must not be, you're not
Well,
from New
for the
Orleans,
people
are
that know
you?
we have like a Hammond and a Vegas location, you know, or something like that, they're like, "Oh, you must be from the Southern location." A little bit.
I get that sometimes.
A little bit.
Sometimes they're like, which office are you? You're not in the Louisiana office. Where's your sweet Southern Belle accent?
But they ask the same thing. They're like, you don't sound like you're from Louisiana. I'm like, yeah. What
But
about?
I hear it. Well, if I hear a foreign voice, I hear it.
I don't think I have an accent. I don't think I have a southern accent. You didn't even have to wear a uniform today. You can get that memo?
I was on Friday.
Any meetings?
She came prepared.
Does anybody need to use the bathroom?
No. You guys schedule bathroom break times?
Yes, now.
What's the next scheduled bathroom break time? Please. That's lunchtime.
Are you really concerned right now?
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah, what time we take lunch?
Can I take her bathroom time if she doesn't need it then?
You can take everybody's bathroom time if you
Alright,
need it
really,
to.
like, this is recorded, I am responsible for the outcome of this, I have to focus. Which means I need everybody else to please focus, okay? So I just handed you the SOP pertaining to requesting the service order. This is Clearview. Clearview hasn't changed in I don't know how long, because I've only been here for about a year and a half, and since then it's never changed. Not to me at least. I have a lot of people who requested information, and Charlie and everybody, this stuff is being emailed to you. So I'll pull it up so you guys can see it, but it is being emailed to you. That's closing. Okay, so I had a lot of requests on people who don't know Clearview, who don't actively work Clearview. I understand you don't work Clearview, but we do have to be able to dual system, right? So PMO is getting more and more work every day. Our job is not to necessarily do their job, but we do encounter technicians who call in and they're like, hey, I'm on this call. We need to know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, right? Additionally, we have more work orders in Clearview than we've had in a really long time, since we had NCR. NCR should be clearing out pretty soon. But if ever you get a technician on the phone who needs help with a Clearview work order, we need to know how, if it's a PMO ticket, if it's not a PMO ticket, how to tell the difference. We need to know what to do. We need to know how to close them. Okay?
Unless it's like those Walmart problems, then those have to go over to the.
So we gotta know the difference, because with NCR, we have two different sides. We have a break fix side and we have a PMO side. So we do have break fix Walmarts, right? So we have break fix Walmarts, which means that it's on our side. And we have PMO Walmarts, so we gotta be able to tell the difference. You gotta be able to look at the ticket and say, alright, this is what's up, okay? So the SOP that I just handed you was just for changing or requesting. Really easy concept. Really, you don't need much more than this, because if you do need more than this, then we have some issues. But I'm gonna show it to you live on how to do it.
Can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
I mean, granted, my Clearview doesn't work, so that's a whole other issue, but how do I even get to this step? Because when I click service order or service, no matter what I click, it goes blank. So can you show me exactly how you get to that screen?
Yep. I
Because
plan to.
mine's invisible.
Mine's not open.
At that point, you don't think so.
Go away. Alright, so you log into Clearview, here's your home screen. Okay? So someone gives you a random ticket and you go into service call. And they say, hey, I'm working on 1254894. Push enter. Okay? This one's in reschedule status with an escalate. That's how you read this board.
Describe where you entered that in at.
Okay. So you went into service call and it populates a blank screen with all of these fields already populated. So in the value, the service number equals the service order number. He says 1254894. Okay?
What if they don't know the service
it's gonna give you a definition as to where it should go, right? So PMO is installing pin pads right now in Walmart. That's their project. So if it's anything else, it's a break fix.
You can always put in their BAS ID next to the technician and it'll pull up all their calls.
Okay. That was my next one. So,
Sorry.
no, you're good, you're good.
She's just helping.
But I thought we talking to a customer right now.
No, it's the technicians that usually call in, please.
I thought you was only changing the request date for a customer.
I'm just showing you how to get in right now.
Oh, I thought we were doing this request at.
We will.
She
will.
She's playing stupid for the rest of us right now.
Yeah, nobody else knows how to do Clearview is my anticipation, so if she doesn't know how to do Clearview, she don't know how to do Clearview, she doesn't know how to do Clearview. I'm positive you don't know how to do Clearview. Lara, who's in the bathroom somewhere, doesn't know how to do Clearview. So I'm just trying to show them what's up. Zombie, get ahead of the game. I know.
No, just like a mini second.
I'm gonna catch you up real quick. Alright, so the tech calls in, he's like, I'm on this ticket. He doesn't know the ticket number, okay? He has his BAS ID. Blank out this one, and then go to here, GAS 8994. And it'll pull up any of his work orders. This is Kenny Mitchell, in case anyone was wondering.
The only backfall to that is depending on how long the tech's been with us and how many work orders he's done, you pull it up by his BAS ID, it's pulling every call he's ever completed. So you
But
may have
do they
to
go in
scroll
order
through.
of?
Yes.
So this
Yep.
is the
They
oldest.
do, they go,
order.
so the newest is at the top.
No.
No,
The oldest, so
So
this is
you have to
backwards.
scroll all the way down.
Okay.
So if you have a tech that's completed over 1,000
See, man's
work orders,
backwards, the
you're
newest
gonna
are
be
at the top.
scrolling.
But you can sort it using the site for sort criteria. It'll pull that. Yeah. So, I mean, you have all of these options here. You have service number, document number. I would really avoid status.
Because it could have changed in 5 minutes.
I would just avoid status because there's a lot.
It's a lot in that status.
Yeah. A lot. There's just, it's not like bam, okay? Stuff can sit in Clearview and you don't know. So stuff can be in DSDSD forever. Okay?
It's a closed status.
Task number, name, address, city, contact name, phone number. A lot of these implicate in BAM. You'll understand that. Technician last name, technician first name, blah, 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 blah. I almost always try and go with the service number. Alright, the way into this, you can click enter twice, so you can come down here and you can double click. In Clearview, it just makes more sense to double click on everything.
Thank you.
What is the document number and where can you find it? Can anyone answer this question for me?
Document numbers, any customer supplied number, like for HP Break Fix, their case number, any other customer that has, like an actual account number or something to trace their calls with. It'll be on the RFS.
So like our break fix HP numbers.
Yep. See what it says document
Is that the
number?
same as the
You're right
document
here as
number?
far as the document.
Okay.
Yep.
So a document number is a customer ticket number,
Mhm.
basically.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it'll be on the face of your ticket. It'll be right here,
Wait, where?
right here. Where
It says
the document.
document.
Okay. What about up there where it says source DOQ? That's not it. It's down there. Okay.
So here's your Clearview screen. Here's your basic ticket. Okay. Here's your basic ticket. This one is rescheduled. Let me go through the buttons first. New, which means you add new record, you create a new ticket, right? Modify is the only way that you can edit something on a ticket. Browse allows you to browse through multiple different fields. You can click this button, but if you double click on the memos, it allows you to do this anyways. This is just an add memo. I don't know why you need to print this, but by all means, there's a button for it. These buttons I don't usually work. Totals I will use when I'm closing calls for like retainer customers. I'll make sure that everything adds up. And then close your service order. Right? order details, so it's gonna mimic BAM a little bit, right? So your service order details is the top of BAM as well, right? So your service order details is gonna give you the ticket number, the status that it's in, field or depot. We don't depot units in Clearview anymore. All of that should be in BAM. The time that it was entered, the due date, and the request date. Okay, so your SOP that I just gave you for changing the request date says to modify. And then click here. Edit your request date. So we're gonna go with, it's on the 25th, right? Today's 12/25, 12/23, 23/59, which means it has to be done before the 26th.
Okay.
And then you click save, and it updated your request date.
So in Clearview, we do basically 11:59, but in BAM, we do 5 p.m. on request
You
dates.
don't,
It depends on the work order.
okay. In BAM, you don't have to do 5 PM. That's just close of business. If they're there till 9 PM, you can push it all the way to 10 PM.
Okay.
If the request date is always
When they close.
when they close, so you have to give it at least an hour for it
Okay.
to process and everything. So you don't have to put 5 PM.
Okay.
It's whatever the customer requests.
But 5 PM is HP break fix,
Right.
Okay.
because they stop their day at 5 PM. They are
At
8
HP?
AM.
Or at the
No,
For
businesses.
break fix.
All the break fix tickets are supposed to be run between 8 AM and 5 PM.
Which means
That's-
that if the
that's why
technician
you do
goes
it.
after 5 PM, you're gonna set it to 5 PM the following day.
Okay. Okay.
Because if they go at 7, then you've missed your,
Ah.
your,
No, it won't miss.
even if it's after the fact?
Emma?
Well, Amanda told us that we had to push it back.
No,
To the
I've
end.
never had to push it back. No, if Brian's gonna go take down the server for an entire company at 5 o'clock on one day, and he goes at 5 o'clock, it doesn't miss because he didn't.
But if he goes at 7?
Even if he goes at 7, it doesn't
No,
matter.
if that affects me. If y'all aren't putting those request times in, that affects me. So y'all need to,
Well,
if
then
they're requesting 5
They're
PM,
telling us different. Because we were told just to put them to 5 o'clock, which is what HP break fix.
Well, that is the point of this. There's your manager right there.
Yep. Boss lady.
So let's stop that and let's let her take control of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so upon delay code, she's right, it affects her. Because we can put a customer request date, and if you miss that customer request date, then technically yes. However, if he goes 5 to 7 or whatever, and we're looking at after business hours, right? So after 5 PM, we do have to put it to the next day. That means that it's technically a make on our SLA reports. So on our RTM reports, it's technically a make because we did it on or before that requested time. Which means our delay code goes into an 8 and not a 6. Does that make sense?
I have.
Yeah, but I
have
have
a question,
a,
too.
yeah, I was gonna say, I have a question about that, but if we, let's just say Lara pulls up a ticket for Brian, and he's going 5 to 7 to do that, if I put the request date as the next day, and she may tell Brian it's okay to go to the next day, because that was their request date anyway, when
Why
Would
would
he-
she be changing the ETA?
I don't know, cause
that's
it,
what's in the notes report though.
Yeah, they have an internal memo saying why you said the request date's that far out. My question is that SLA, is it on-site or is it fixed SLA? Because if they get to site at 5 and finish at 8, we should make it, right? If it's on-site.
It's okay.
Yes.
So that will be okay. As long as they're gonna complete they're gonna get there at 5.
Break
Okay.
fix specifically, your on-site and your fixed SLA are the same time. Because they're one-trip tickets.
So if they,
Next business day, on-site, the end.
okay, so if they get there at 5 but they don't leave till 8, it's still okay to put the not to push to the next day.
You want to push
As
the
long
next
as they get there right at 5,
Okay.
I don't care.
But if
If
they're
they get at 5:01, I want to push to the next day.
Okay, so it's to be safe, push it to the next day if their window's 3 to 5 or 5 to 7.
No,
Quit asking her. Ask your manager.
no. If their ETA is 3 to 5, I expect them to be there before 5.
So
So
it stays that day.
stay that day.
Stay that day.
And if
Their
he's-
ETA is scheduled between 5 and 7 for some god awful reason on a break fix ticket, because we only run 8 to 5 on break fix. So if their scheduled ETA is between 5 and 7, we need to push it to the next day. So we can put that as a delay code 8 and not as a delay code 6.
When is it okay to do 5 to 7 on break fix tickets, since we only supposed to run 8 to 5?
It's not.
When, it's not, but it can be a customer request, and
We try to accommodate.
it's Corinthian
However-
College, Everest,
Some of the house
and
calls.
Gary Jones. And the hotels.
So
We will do a late one, but other
we
than
will
that, no.
try to accommodate a customer. We are not held responsible for anything that's outside of 8 to 5.
Okay.
In fact, we can push that back. So we can push back to HP and say, nope, they're telling us we can't go until 5 to 7. You guys need to take it back and tell these people that you're servicing it, whatever.
So, I'm sorry, you know I have a lot of questions, I apologize. So my question is, if we are having trouble dispatching a tech, and we get a tech, and that tech can only go,
That's our fault. That's not a customer.
yeah, I mean, they can go the next day, 8 to 10, or they can go that night and get it done for 5 to 7. What do we do? And if they say, it's okay for you to come 5 to 7, we choose the soonest, right?
If the customer is saying, hey, we want a tech today, we have to have a tech today, we are in dire emergency, we have to have a tech today, we should never get to a point where we only have a 5 to 7. You should always kick back the tag and be like, nope, why is this acceptable, right?
Yeah.
So you should always push back the tag and say, I need an earlier ETA, this is not acceptable time. He either needs to meet a 3 to 5 window, right? And he needs to be there between 3 and 5. Or we need to figure out a different solution.
So, you would rather it be, but I guess my question is, if it has to be 3 to 5, would it be better if it be 3 to 5 the next day? Or 5 to 7 that day that they can do it 5 to 7? Do you see what I'm saying? Because that happens a lot, we get those kind of situations where they're like, we can give you a 5 to 7 today, but, you know, we have to go tomorrow at 1 to 3.
Pick up the phone, call your customer.
Okay, and then that point is from the customer, what they would prefer, and we change the request date per what they say.
Well, I mean, at that, you're looking at a tomorrow ETA, a tomorrow request date, right?
Okay.
Regardless. But you gotta be honest about it. So if the customer's not requesting that, you can't put a request date in there. So if the customer's not requesting tomorrow, there's absolutely no reason for you to lie
Yeah.
in a ticket. That comes back on RTM, and that comes back as a lie, and it makes it look like we're dumb,
Okay.
and we're practicing bad business.
So we just really need to try to get dispatched to get about there that day before 5.
You need to kick and scream until everyone does their job. When everyone starts doing their job will become easier. We won't have Saturday meetings. Yeah?
I just have a quick question because, I mean, you know, I deal with Brian a lot and I deal with servers a lot for the break fix. So a lot of times they will be like, look, the latest that Brian can come would be better. That way my whole company's not down for 3 hours while he's fixing this. And Brian works late, like he wakes up late and works a little bit later. To do those things because he does work on servers. So, I mean, if customer's like, hey, look, I don't want him here until 5:30, so everybody's going and we can yank the servers out. Brian's like, cool, I'll be there at 5:30, no problem. That's okay, right? Everybody's cool with it.
That's their fault.
Okay.
Those are exceptions, those
different.
aren't the normal calls.
Yeah.
Those are the exceptions where
And
you
you don't
have
work
to.
HP break fix. So that concept was for HP break fix.
You
They
work
run a-
TS,
You run HPTS.
Which
Okay.
is break fix in the contract.
it's servers,
It's different. It's
Ours
just
are-
servers.
just printers,
Okay.
just laptops, just computers.
Okay. Okay, so that's the
We can't
difference.
go down
Mine's
without
slightly
that.
different.
Yeah, like that'd
Okay.
be like us walking into here and being like, well, I clocked in, but I don't have any work to do. Guess I'll just sit here and run the clock. No! No! Right?
Find something to do or go home.
So we gotta fix their stuff. So we're a computer company, we couldn't be down without our stuff. Retail companies can't be down without their stuff. Like, there's repercussions to servers being down. We gotta try and accommodate, like, you have a ticket running today, for instance. We gotta get it done.
mean, like, who is it? Who's the customer? Is it a HP or is it a
Is what?
HPTS? Is it Brian?
No, it's not Brian.
Okay.
Brian's fantastic.
He is, I'm going.
I like the way that he spells his name.
Okay, so, and, hello.
What was that?
Oh, sorry, let me tell him not to use the service. Is Candace?
Yeah?
Okay, I got, Indians joining, and so just tell them to stop use a different bridge, okay?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll use mine.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so the next one you're gonna have business location details. This is NCR. It tells you it's Walmart debit reader. So, just off of this information, what kind of call is this? Okay, so it's 2020 Heights Drive in Parker Heights, Texas, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you have, phone number, manager number, I really need to figure out why I can't see all of it. Okay, so here's your memos, here's your tasks, or the buttons you can click on to go somewhere, right here and up here. Everything else you can modify.
When you start getting to the bottom part of that screen, scroll up.
I can't.
Where was this one?
It won't let you scroll?
I brought it in here, but then I was put over there.
Okay,
The way that this is formatted,
okay,
and the way that my laptop is, it's not
okay, I got it.
too well. Okay, so here though, we have, our memos. You double click on the memos tab. It's gonna bring up the new box with all your memos. Oldest memo if you push previous, or the newest memo if you push previous. Call technician to confirm ETA. Address, paperwork ready, not in office, sending email.
How do you know who left that note?
Audit times. So this is,
Devin.
Devin. So this is Devin. She did it at this time. And she didn't modify it at the exact same time. Okay? So I can go in and I can click modify. And I can put whatever I want into this memo. I'm not going to.
And then you would put that you modified it, what, such and such time.
You should
You
have
don't
a new
need
memo.
to. Audit times will tell you. If you go to audit times, you have your edit
It
time.
automatically
Put a
And then you have
period
modified.
somewhere.
It shows you whoever
So
modified
that they
that
can
last note.
see.
Okay.
Just put a period somewhere so they can see how it modifies.
Alright, modify. Save. Audit times. I modified it at 10:44 on today.
Okay, but you can like delete a memo and never see it again then, huh? And all it'll say is that someone modified it, but it's gone.
No. You delete it, it's gone. It's not gonna show any record of it.
Well, I
So
mean, if
you
they
delete this
delete,
memo. If I push delete,
yeah.
it's gonna delete it.
Yeah, so in Clearview, you can delete memos and then lose. Does that happen where things get lost and people don't know what's going on?
Not
I think
this.
certain people have the privilege to delete.
Not
Only
everybody
certain
can
people.
delete a memo.
Okay. Cause like in banding, I know we can't.
Yeah.
Right. So there's different types of notes. So the first one's the I notes are internal notes. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Same concept as any other internal note. A D note is a dispatch note, right? Okay, so a D note is a dispatch note. It's where they get the complete scope of work, where they say that the technician's assigned, blah, 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 okay? Anything that you see in a normal dispatch note is gonna be in there. Okay? An E note is an external note. It's a client can see it, it's emailed to them. Same thing as a CRS call center, any of those notes, okay?
O notes or opening notes for the client.
If we had any.
They won't for projects. It would be like State Farm or
Right.
something like
So
that.
an O note's an opening note,
A note is closing
an
notes.
A note is a closing note, and a Z note's a billing note?
Yes.
And a Z note's a billing note, so you'll see your bill PBs come across, and it'll be in a note. Usually, it's detailed and it tells you exactly what's wrong. Usually. Sometimes, we need to go digging and asking questions. to what they need in order to close the call correctly. In those instances, feel free to send it to the accounting team and say, hey, what exactly do you need from me? This note's not clear. Okay? So here's your task line. So your task line is, you can double click on it, right? And it's gonna bring up a new window. So your task line is rescheduled to escalate, which means that we have a tech who isn't assigned. Somewhere that we escalated it and we either had a no-show, we had a tech dispatch off of it, we don't have a tech, we rescheduled it to escalate. Okay? Item project, description installation project, we're installing printheads, okay? If you wanna know all of this information, it's kind of like BAM, okay? So the service type is T&M, we're billing T&M, right? Priority is next business day on site. We have a request date, so this is null and void for the request date. The coverage is 9x5 coverage. Walmart, I do believe is a 24-hour project. And so 9x5 coverage is just technically what the contract is set up under. Okay? Duration is two hours. And then the tax code's not necessary for you to understand. I really wish that I could show you all the rest of this.
I have a question. This is a Walmart ticket, isn't it? So we're not supposed to be answering their questions anyway, and we're supposed to be forwarding them to
their bridge.
I'm just making sure.
Yep. We have warranty details, we have repair details.
So, in the instance where, like I had Saturday, a technician is calling on a ticket to be assigned to a ticket and say it isn't escalated, and he wants to be assigned, I know I can't assign him, but I have to send him over to the bridge where someone may give an answer. But, is there a way for me to send an email to Tag or somebody, the project team? I mean, is there any way for me to be like, hey, this technician's trying to get assigned to this ticket?
There always is. There should be, when you're sending an email, you can go up on the right-hand side and hit the drop down where it'll say all users, all groups.
Mhm.
If you want to email PMO, they all have a distro list in there. You just pick whatever distro
Okay.
list and say, hey, this guy's calling in, needs to talk to someone, wants to be assigned. Someone, whoever's working that distro or working that day should answer it.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. It's kind of like, if it's after hours or whatever, it'll come to me, or you, whichever one of us is working. But I'm wondering if there's someone, because I tried to call into the bridge too, for a technician that was trying to get assigned, and I sat on hold for 20 minutes and nobody ever joined the conference with me. So, just to see, because he said he had been sitting on hold on the bridge for a while. And so I was like, well, let me see. So I did, and nobody ever picked up. So I'm wondering if there would have been a way to where that person, whoever has that after hours phone or whatever, they would get that email.
Email that distro, email PMO, anyone, they all get it.
PMO assignments, reports, tag.
Tags. Would be tag if he's wanting to be assigned to something, right?
Well, assignments, would it be tag or would it be assignments?
Assignments is where they tell them what the stuff is to be done. Tag actually assigns the call.
Send it to him, Jerry's not good for that, he has an email all the time. And he will either call himself, assign someone to do it, whoever's working the bridge that day, he'll say, hey, this guy wants to be assigned, handle, blah, blah, blah. He'll go ahead and do that, yes.
I don't know what a bridge means at all.
So, what Charlie's on,
Uh-huh.
what Crystal's on, that's a bridge, it's our conference bridge.
So it's just a conference call?
Yeah. They're on that 24/7.
So basically, if he calls into the bridge, Jerry's phone's gonna ring.
And if they don't know that number, you can look at it in the memos, it'll have the number in there.
There's like 2 phone numbers.
Yeah.
So I have a question. If someone calls into the bridge and Jerry's phone rings and he picks it up, and then someone else calls into the bridge.
He has
They
to
have
tell that
multiple
tech to
people.
hold on.
Okay.
Like, they can all hear each other at one time. It's crazy.
That's what I'm talking about. So it's calling into a conference call.
Yes.
Why do they choose to do it that way?
Because they have so many projects going on and so many technicians trying to get in contact with them that putting them in a queue they would never be able to work the queue. If they put them all on a bridge where they all can call in all at once and have multiple people helping them all at once, it's more efficient, gets more done.
And you know, you take your own sites on those lines.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they're so,
nobody ever. For projects, the way that Jerry has us work on projects, we don't answer projects. We don't yet. I think I sent out, I don't think I know, I sent out a reminder. Their RFS, their installment guide, whatever, has the conference bridge listed like 36 times. I'm not even kidding, it's like 36 times.
and text
So-
can't say they don't have it.
Yes, so if a technician calls you and is like, hey, you know what, I can't get in touch with anybody on the bridge, by all means, we do need to escalate that. When they're saying, hey, I can't get in touch with anybody on the bridge. My recommendation to CYA is to tell them, call back into the bridge one more time. I'm gonna go ahead and escalate this as you're calling in, but I need you to confirm that absolutely no one is answering. Call both bridges. There are two, okay? So he needs to call both bridges in order for us to help him. And the only way that we can help him is to escalate over to PMO. We don't touch their tickets. Yes, ma'am?
Can we get those phone numbers?
Yeah, I'll send it out to you.
Okay.
However, you're not allowed to give them to the tech.
What?
But
wait.
Why?
Yeah, I don't want them if I can't use them.
Because they're listed in their installation guide
37
36 times.
Oh, well, yeah,
So
I mean,
the
that makes
text-
sense, I don't, yeah.
The tech should have that
The number with
information already.
the 333,
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be giving that
So-
to the technician?
If he doesn't have his paperwork, we gotta help him out, right? That's the way the customer service works. If they don't have something, they're going to lie to us and say, oh, no, I have it, blah, blah, blah. You still can't help them, but you can tell them you need to call into the bridge, if they don't have their stuff, right?
Well, that's confusing.
If they're
So
just
the
saying.
first thing out of our mouths should be, do you have your paperwork?
Right, so have you read your installation guide? Yeah, I read it. Well, unfortunately, sir, I can't help you. You need to reread your installation guide. Well, why? Sir, you gotta read your installation guide. You can't tell him anything else. If Jerry finds out that you're telling him anything else, he is going to flip his lid on me.
And that's because they're trying to do the job without reading their paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want people who are inadequate and can't read on his sites. So if they can't read, he doesn't need to pay them. I feel the same way. If they can't read 37 times, we
Or
don't
if they
need to pay them.
can't follow instructions.
Yeah.
Right? So my recommendation is to always tell them, you know, have you read your installation guide? Well, I just don't know, whatever, you know? They read their installation guide, they call you, they say, hey, I called into the bridge, sat on hold for 20 minutes, and all I hear is music. If all they hear is music, no one's on that bridge, right? We know that nobody's on that bridge, because we all know how conference bridges work. You only stop hearing the music when other people are joined. So, when they call in and they're saying, hey, I need some help, nobody is answering the conference bridge, right? And you're saying, hey, okay, which conference bridge did you dial? This is why I'll give you the numbers, okay? Which conference bridge did you dial? Because for instance, like last week, we had one where Stephanie was on one, and we had Tori on the other, right? And the conference bridges went down in Vegas. Their internet went down, which means their check stocks went down. So they didn't have anyone answering the conference bridge. They went down for about 5 minutes. We had about 7 technicians calling in at 5 minutes. And so we had to go ahead and escalate and say, hey, what's going on, guys? We can't handle your call volume. Right? So I am going to get you guys those phone numbers. It's all of the Vegas lines. We take a number, anything with a 702 number, but I'll get you the exact ones again. Just so we can proactively let them know nobody's answering this bridge, blah, blah, blah. I do want you to send it back. We're not gonna help them out, we're gonna send it back to the bridge. If after 5 minutes they still call in and they're like, hey, you know, I'm not getting anywhere, whatever, we're gonna try our best to help them out. Find their PMO, find somebody, okay? Yes.
The bridge is open 24 hours.
24 hours, and if it's not, okay, here's how that works. So we have someone manning that bridge 24 hours 7 days a week. However, Home Depot, you can only go at like 8 and noon, or like noon and 3 or something like that. You can only go 2 times. So if they're falling in other than that, I don't know that that bridge is going to be manned, right? And the Walmart's 24/7, so they have to read their install guides. Have to read their install guides. If for any reason that bridge is like nobody's in the building, it's forwarded to an after hours phone. Whether it be Jerry's cell phone, whether it be someone that's in PMO that's taken over an after hours phone, I don't care. Not my department. My department's here. So here's what you can do on a PMO ticket though. Okay, so I don't love to tell you guys what you can't do, but I definitely want to tell you how you can improve and how you can do something. Definitely tell them to read their install guide. Read their install guide, read their install guide, read their install guide. Okay, if you still don't get it, they're still not comprehending, then we're gonna try and help them out. Hey, what do you need? You know, hey, I can get on the bridge, we're gonna send an email over to PMO. Same distro, 80, not same distro, but like they're 8304. They're 8304. Okay, send an email over to 8304 saying, hey, PMO team, this technician has blah, 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 blah. Fill in the blanks. They should be able to assist. But by all means, CYA and make sure that you include that he's called into the bridge 3 or 4 times and nobody's answering. This is the bridge that he's called it to. Yes, Ms. Bacon?
If the tech calls in and asks for a specific person, should we try to get him to that person? Or
No.
tell him to call into the bridge?
He can't have a person.
Okay, because I mean, I have them call all the time and ask for Debbie.
Well, effective Monday, Ms. Debbie will not be in the PMO. She'll be part of our team.
Okay.
So they won't be asking for her anymore.
Okay.
They call for Danielle all day.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. They need to call into the bridge.
All day.
And that's nice. They can call into the bridge.
So all day long, PMO never has a queue. PMO always has a bridge.
Always have a bridge.
Okay.
They do have a queue. Jonathan works their queue
What's the queue for?
for those one-offs. Like, so CDW doesn't have a bridge. Like, so the CDW project calls doesn't have a bridge. They're usually skewed, so they're installed. So they're, customer calls and say, hey, I need you to install this brand new unit. Well, we don't handle anything that's not covered under 30 days. Covered for less than 30 days, right? Unless we supply it. So it's considered a SKU. So we install it, and we wipe your hands clean. That's it. We're just assigned to install, okay? So CDW has a lot of SKUs. Right now they're moving furniture. They're,
Moving furniture.
yes, moving furniture. They can do whatever they want.
And the senator's offices is moving, isn't it?
That's not project, so that's break fix, and that's this guy.
Oh, that is right there.
Yep. So, CDW's moving furniture. I think they're moving like couches and stuff. I don't know. Not my business. I'm okay. Okay? They want to get movers, by all means. Right? So, the schedule line is going to show you, this is why this is an escalate right here. A PMO ticket, if you ever get a call for a PMO ticket and they're like, hey, I need to dispatch occupant. If it's not one of the bridge calls, so if it's not Home Depot or Walmart or Pomeroy is also known as Syntac, so it can be used interchangeably. So if it's not one of those 3, and they're asking for their project manager, and they're asking for the project manager, we can at that point escalate over to PMO. You can call them if you want to and see if they have time for it, but ultimately it's their responsibility to make sure they're expecting them to do it there. Okay? The schedule line is here, so schedule line, this is the same way that you would dispatch a technician onto a ticket. Senate tickets we don't dispatch, State Farm tickets we don't dispatch because they have certain criteria. Okay? If a CDW ticket, if a CDW call, it's break fix. I'll show you guys how to determine the difference. CDW call comes in and it's break fix. we will assign the technician. There's no reason for us not to. So, we're gonna pull the CDW call orders to do it, because I'm not gonna mess with projects. But, I'm gonna show you this first. Crystal, get off my screen. So here's gonna give you your technician's name and BAS ID. It's gonna give you what he's tasked to do, his notified date, which is when he got his paperwork. So as long as this is checked and we have a date, he got his paperwork, it was emailed to him, and tell him to check the junk folder, okay? In order to re-notify, you click modify, check it again, click save.
I'm gonna resend him an RFS.
Resend his paperwork just now.
Okay, so you go to
Schedule, so
Okay.
on this screen,
Okay. Can you just do it one more time for me?
so into schedule,
Schedule, trip,
double click on his trip,
uh-huh.
scheduling date, like this is just the front page, I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
You click modify to change or do anything on the face of the ticket, clear view. Modify. Check the box,
Uh-huh.
click save. This guy got no shit and he just got his paperwork twice, again.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
I know on BAM, if a technician no-shows,
Uh-huh,
then he doesn't get reassigned to another ticket.
correct.
Are they linked?
No.
So if he no-shows, he can no-show all day on Clearview and still get assigned to BAM tickets. Okay.
So then his scheduled date's listed directly under that. If you go into technician time, the technician calls you, says, hey, I just wanna update my times, blah, 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 okay? Awesome, you're gonna go here, technician time, you're gonna click modify. Dispatch, arrival and complete. Dispatch, arrival and complete. You can, just like BAM, you can use the clock and the calendar. Again, everything in Clearview is military time. We're in military time. Where, please, make it up easy. And then you'll click save.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Like an obvious one, is this a completed ticket?
No, this isn't, this is an escalate.
Alright, so why do they already have times for the arrival and complete?
Because that's a no-show.
This is actually a no-show.
Okay, so those days will have the exact same time for arrival and complete, and that's how you know it's a no-show?
It'll say
It'll say
no-show.
on the
It'll say
passenger
no-show.
call,
Yeah.
on his line.
On his
On,
line.
okay.
If she closes, see, you have one that shows
Yeah.
completed no-show, one completed redispatch.
Okay.
Wait, if he was no-showed, why did he get redispatched?
They can
Add
add
line.
lines to
Add
account
So
the home.
they, in Clearview, you can add this thing.
If he gets no-showed on a call, you can still add him back to that same call. It's not like BAM where if he no-shows, you
So we
can't
just
add him
keep
back.
racking up the points.
Yep.
It depends on the client and what you're trying to do, and who the
Tech
CRS
is.
is. Yeah.
So if you're ever working on a board, since it's in Clearview, you're gonna come down here and click service status. We're gonna pull my board, not Kelly's board. Because Kelly's board's a mess. I tried last night. It didn't work. Alright, so you're gonna order open, true, whiteboard user C-Park. So if you're assigned a whiteboard, it'll be kinda like the same thing, right? So I have one that's from all my old stuff, has half of Kelly's board on it right now, and it's labeled something else, cause I created a different one, okay? But for my, the one that I'm gonna show you is C-Park, and then you're gonna click find now, and it's gonna show you 6 and 6 is 12, it's gonna show you 12 calls. It's gonna show you 12 calls, 5 of them have to be okay, so this is my children's hospital project. Okay, this is something that I stress over every single day. So we double click on the ticket just like you did in the other screen. It's gonna bring you this one. This one's on hold. This is a bill of ding. We're gonna look at it. Confirm OT OT for technician rate is $320 a day, confirm other tech times of 5 hours, right? So I'm gonna leave a note.
Be nice.
Polite.
A very professional note. My internal note, close, and I'm gonna pull it out of Bill PB. So I'm gonna push hold order, so status, hold order. And then status, hold order again, so I took it out of Bill PB, and now I'm putting it closed. Everything is coded in Clearview. You have to code it correctly. So if I had put close, the reason code close is not valid. It's not a thing in Clearview. It doesn't exist. Okay? So reason closed. And you would click save. And now it's closed.
Question.
I know.
Okay. So when you put that memo in, okay, so there was a memo saying that it was in Bill PB, Bill problems, right?
Yes.
Because they're saying that you owed a tech overtime and that you owed, but you went back apparently and confirmed that you didn't owe them overtime?
Oh, I know. This technician does owe overtime.
Okay.
They are owed overtime.
Is it Kenny?
Huh?
Kenny?
No,
Okay.
it's Isabel. They are owed overtime because they did in fact work overtime.
Okay.
I know this ticket. I know what happened.
Yeah.
I don't need to go and look at memos, but I should have. You're right.
Well, no, I'm just saying because you put, you're putting it in closed, so you're like skipping over whatever